Last session, we went and informed Rajuan of what happened this time. It wasn't not just Elise, it was also Percy and Das. He gave us 5,000 credits, not to take care of Kawana. He just really likes us that much. Also, Kawana, I have a big chunk paragraph about Kawana forcing Das to get white robes with a distinct lack of pockets.
Blue with white trim, with a distinct lack of pockets.
Yeah. They will be fixable.
Yes, they're fixable, but they don't have pockets right now.
We learned after Kawana tripped the yellow alert by opening the fridge that Mona is routinely attacked by the Union, although they always repel said attempts, but it seems that their utopia there is under siege, and the people there are under lockdown. Anyway, we have a fun few little vignettes. We have a shooting competition. We show Kawana around the ship. She made fun of my MREs. I have a frowny face in here. And a few days later, we arrive in Ozzy and approach Henry Station. Seem to be a little on edge about the somewhat unidentified cruiser ship that is coming in, but we are allowed to dock. Although we have quite a few sanctions put on us to not disembark with weapons or armor. As we are going through customs, someone recognizes me, a man in a wheelchair named Dima. It is Sarah, which seems to upset Elise, but we do agree to meet him in a bar in a few hours. Rajuan, we also learned from Kawana that Rajuan told her to keep distance from most of the people on the ship, so she's not good at listening to her grandfather's instructions. Let's see here. Most of the members of Henry Station are former or currently active Union military and miners. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, Dex.
Did you say family of former military and miners?
Former or current?
Yes. That is correct.
I imagine that there are a few people that are like, oh yeah, my brother's in the military, he's not here right now. But yeah, so as we got down to the floor that I did not write down, we went over to the room where we were expecting to find Eva Maria, but instead found Libra and Acid, a blue Trin. They instantly want to know where Portia Lynn, and John are, and we get to talking very briefly, well, maybe not so briefly, about kind of what's going on. We play around with the truth a little bit until finally we go, fuck it, we'll tell them. And after that, we had a whole lot of questions to ask and not a whole lot of answers as of yet, but that's what we're going to get into today.
That's right. I don't, nothing else springs to mind, except you do have a meet set up with Dima.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that was mentioned.
The only other thing that I'd add is that, as one of the vignettes, we kind of stomped on Kwana's exuberant high spirits a little bit, because she was like, oh my god, I'm heading into space with all these cool people, and we kind of went, yeah, we all have amnesia, so we don't actually remember you. And she was like, oh, well, this is so cool, I get to be a crew member. And they were like,
And also we don't have any guns.
yeah, we all still have guns.
And also you've got to eat MREs, and also.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we tried to prank her with the fridge, but it didn't really work because the rest of you didn't play along.
Played along my own way.
it turned out to be a good test. She didn't panic too much.
Yeah, I mean, given that our first response was look to someone who knows what they're doing and ask, what do I do? That's acceptable.
I mean, By the way, I just want to know, like, all those things. It sounds like she signed on under false pretenses. Starting to sound a little like kidnapping.
Well, we shall have to find out what happened with Das and Zoe and Acid and see how we think after that, because it may be that those were
maybe it was the same thing.
Maybe the basically kidnapped Zoe is that. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you are currently walking back from the room that Acid, Libra, and Natario were staying at. Acid did a little bit of makeup work to dress as a blue-skinned character from a Holovid. A non-Trin blue-skinned character. Acid has been getting around as cosplay.
That's great. That's great.
She mutters about it and she sneers about it.
Happy about that.
And Natario and Libra, well, Libra is just kind of ignoring the whole thing. Natario is smirking. And you hear people on the station call out, "Hey, it's so and so from that show," and Acid forces a smile and waves. There are fangs behind that smile. She is going to rip somebody's throat out.
Yeah.
But you get back to the security checkpoint, customs inspection, and see Dima is still on his shift. He waves at you and waves you through. And unless there's anything you wanted to do in between that room and your ship, you arrive back on your ship. Nope. All right. Let's go ahead and put you right on that screen.
I think we're on the ship.
Yeah. Let's see, did that start any music? No, and I am going to take this opportunity to play that new piece that you got. As soon as I put it in Roll20. News media. Let's see. It'll actually take a second to upload. I jumped the gun on saying I was gonna play it. How about I play the stinger real quick while it's uploading, just to make sure everyone can hear this.
Control.
All right, everyone can hear that. Anybody can't hear it?
I cannot.
Ah. Do you perhaps have Roll20 muted or that tab muted?
And to be clear, the stinger is not words.
Right, it's kind of low key actually. Maybe I should turn it up.
Nothing played for a little while, and then suddenly I got the intro to Audit the Audit.
Audit the.
Okay, maybe that was stolen from somebody else, or from somewhere else, but that's where I recognize it from.
Oh, that might be. It's one of those free or use by attribution pieces.
Okay.
And it is available for commercial, so it's entirely possible somebody else is using it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Yeah.
I know it from the show that's all about First Amendment auditing.
Oh no, I'm definitely gonna have to change that. I do not want that content. association. Not saying the content is bad. I just don't want any kind of direct musical sting association with content. All right. So this was news that came in while you guys were in the room, and your characters actually are seeing it play across screens as you're traveling from the room to the ship. I've already posted it in Artemis Black News, so I'll just click play and roll 20 real quick.
Disorder erupted on Discipline Station just
viral
hours
here.
ago when a
Actually, no, not viral.
solemn martial performance, Funeral of the Sun, went off script. Acting alone according
Nope.
to authorities,
That's
the
me.
performer portraying Tajima Shiro refused to surrender and accept exile. Shouting, "I will not be exiled. I did not kill my father. I was framed." The actor drew their sword and threatened the performers who, by the script, were supposed to restrain and walk the Tajima Shiro character off stage. Funeral of the Sun is a historical martial drama, performed on Discipline Station, and broadcast live to millions of shinobu every week for 3 years since its debut. A revolving cast of actors portray the historical figures involved, most of whom are still alive, through a 3-hour performative reenactment of the most dramatic event in shinobu's recent history, the assassination of Emperor Tajima Hideyoshi by his oldest son, Tajima Shiro. Being selected is considered an esteemed honor, and many of the performers have gone on to work on period docudramas produced by both state and state-sanctioned independent productions. And that's been the topic of many whispered conversations, both on Discipline Station and across Shinobu. Why would someone throw away this opportunity? What did they hope to accomplish, besides assuring a tightening of the state selection guidelines? And will they be successful? Authorities never revealed this rebellious actor's identity, and the live cast was cut and last week's performance spliced expertly into the feed. Blink twice, and you would have missed it. Their identity may never be known except to those who never see them again. This is Nia, reporting for Artemis Black Network News from Discipline Station in the United Imperial Shogunate.
And there we have the exit for 808.
Aha. Does seem. So, just thinking, that sounds like a dangerous thing to report on from UIS space, doesn't it?
That's a very dangerous thing to report on from UIS space. Yep, no question about that.
Wait, so we hear this when we're back on the Vasa, right?
Yeah, you guys have just seen that playing, snippets of it playing on monitors as you've traveled from the cruise room over to the Raza, and you can easily have stopped or stopped on the Raza, caught the whole thing on the Raza,
Mm-hmm.
as people are getting back to, like, it's not like Libra Acid and Natalia are going to jump straight into a conference room with you, unless you tell them to, I guess. They would if you said so, but they would like to get back to their rooms and change into some of their old clothes.
Hopefully we haven't raided their rooms too heavily.
If I recall, you did note that the rooms were searched, but nothing looked like it was terribly, out of place.
Yeah, none of the answers that we were looking for.
Yeah, in that case, I am going to look at 808 once we finish sharing the recording or the news broadcast and say, looks like things are interesting for you, hey?
Yes, and looks over at John. Says, "Commanding officer, with your permission, I'd like to be relieved of duty."
what brought this about.
I don't know what happened with my father. I don't remember. I just know that if I am the son of late Emperor Hideyoshi, or Emperor Tajima, then I must return home and face my crimes or clear my name. Come to Shinobu if you hear that I have been reinstated or been instated as Emperor of the United Imperial Shogunate. I'll see that you are treated to a welcome reception.
I have no right to really stop you. Just, I'm sure that you're aware that it's going to be more dangerous walking around than staying on some ship out in space.
I can handle that danger. Let's call him XO.
Good answer. Then you're relieved of duties.
Thank you. And he turns to you, the rest of you, those who have hung around. I know that Percy is there, John's there, anyone else that's there can be here for this. And I have not known you. I've known you as long as you've known me, but I wish you well, and I hope that you can discover your past, but leave it behind. Unless it was a good past.
You know, you know what? I think you should hang about until we've had this conversation with the other three at least. They may have answers, and if nothing else, if we have no idea where we're going in the future, maybe we can help you. I don't know. Percy just sort of look about it. Whoever else is there, like, just see if anyone is immediately strongly objecting to that possibility.
He objects to it. He shakes his head.
Hmm.
I'm going to go alone. Thank you, Brent.
Oh.
Brother in arms.
Okay, if you insist then. But stay safe.
May we meet on the battlefield one day. Hopefully on the same side.
Thrilling as it would be to face you for real.
Can you repeat that, Varel?
I said, thrilling as it would be to face you down for real.
He grins. You would die.
Let's not find out.
Agreed. And he gives you a bow, and all of you a bow, and prepares to leave the ship and go on the station. He appears to already have his bags packed. He does turn real quick, once more I should say, looks at Das, and then the rest of you. Take care of her. And then he turns again and walks off.
Huh.
Hmm.
Didn't expect one of us to be an exiled prince. Well, no, I guess we had a princess, so.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm gonna change music.
Okay,
since...
please.
Oh, good.
Okay, place your bets. Does he get arrested the minute he steps foot on his home planet? Or do they let him take his jacket off first at least?
Don't know enough about the place.
Libra comes up from down the hall, and she offers an answer. There will be blood if they try.
He
I'm
seems
all
like the
set
kind
with
of guy
it.
that would stab someone in the throat.
I'm sorry, I spoke over you. What was that, Jackal?
Elise was just kind of muttering. He seems like the kind of guy that would stab someone in the throat as a warning.
Yeah, I concur.
Yes. It's a shame he and Acid didn't get along better. They're not that different.
Not so different, you and
I've only known Acid for like what, half an hour since the amnesia, but yeah, I could see that.
She is waiting for you in the conference room. I know you have questions for us, but she has questions for you.
I. So it would seem.
To the conference room we go then, I guess. Hang on, let me just get the map up so I can make my token.
I'm going to
let's
assume
see
that
the
everybody's
conference
going
room.
to the conference room, so we don't actually need to
Mhm.
move tokens.
Where's
Okay.
the conference room? Looks like we don't have one.
No idea what you're
Yeah,
talking
obviously
about.
all the space outside the boxes is whatever room doesn't have labels, right?
I guess I will
These-
put the conference room up, and so that I can do this and let you guys decide if Kawana gets to stay here. Kawana would like to be a part of this.
Yeah, she's one of us now, yeah.
Right.
And besides, she was already there for the first part of the discussion when we when we went to meet these three in the first place, so
Yeah, true.
I mean, the thing there is like, if we'd be trying to disqualify Koana by age, then like Das then can't really be here. So we
Yeah.
kind of have to include Koana because otherwise Das has to leave as well, and that's not happening.
Since when are we not allowed to hold a double standard? Come on.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's only people who know their birthdays that are under 21 or something, you know. And then Das
start
doesn't actually
getting
know
really-
a birthday, so it's fine.
yeah, you could just be like a really baby faced like 25 or something.
Yeah.
Suspiciously
It'd
specific rules.
be unusual, but yes, theoretically.
All right. The moment any of you enters the room, Acid is already asking what you remember, how far back you remember, and just interrogating you about your memory loss.
Yeah, like I said, I'm quite happy to feel that. I'll just answer questions as they come, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, as well.
You guys relay as best you can what the details of your memories are. She in time focuses on John when the rest of you when somebody responds that they don't remember anything. She looks over at John. What about you? You're old. Do you remember any of your life?
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. As frustrating as it is.
Do any of you have
What does
brain
him-
damage?
What does him being old have to do with anything?
If we have brain damage, we haven't had a doctor to check us out, I guess.
We would have seen it on the scanners in the med bay.
Mm.
No seizures. You're not taking drugs.
No.
Not that we know of, unless there's anything funky in the MREs.
Like this body could sustain heavy drug use.
Probably not.
Wow, self burn. Kind of.
She kind of sits back, crosses her arms. This sounds similar to a Trin technology.
Oh.
Mm.
So you suggesting we were attacked by Tran?
No. If you were attacked by Trin, there would be nothing left of your ship. I would have seen to that. You know how valuable this ship would be?
Airship, you mean, right?
Yes, our ship.
And when she says, do you have any idea how valuable this ship would be? I'll just turn and look at Douglas.
I mean, what, you gonna sell the ship?
Use it.
Can't do that.
Think of many places this ship could get. Load up some missiles. Boom. No more people.
What do you mean where the ship can get? That just kind of gets, where other ships do, just maybe faster, right?
Acid and Natalia and Libra exchange meaningful glances. Libra takes the lead here. Maybe we should fill you in on you.
Yeah,
Me as in Douglas, or us as in the not having memory folks?
All of you.
Okay, good. I didn't want to get too personal.
Alright, so let's
Little
get
worried
the personal-ish questions first. As I said, you can have like basic simple things that you should already more or less be able to figure out from conversation and talking. Why was I kidnapped is not one of those simple two. Sorry, is not included in the basic info. It can be one of your two freebie personal questions, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, is there anything basic that any of you think that any of you don't know, or that the characters don't know, and would like to have answered definitively?
I mean, name and date of birth.
I was going to say name check just to make sure that we did actually get the right names.
Yeah, and ideally name and date of birth for everyone that they know, not just the people that we don't think we know it for.
Okay.
So, like, validate the information we do have and fill in the bits we don't if they know it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good starting point. I'll get to what you were going to ask in a moment, Peter.
That was literally what I was going to ask.
Okay.
Name and date of birth. I thought it was going to include place of birth.
Yes, place of birth. That's a good one as well. So,
Okay.
Are we asking security questions so we can get it to the computer or something?
I'd like the last four digits of your social security number, please.
I guess effectively the level of detail that we had on those crime reports of like name, date, place, and date of birth. That's about it that everyone had, right? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. In fact, in asking those questions, I will ping the crime reports across to Eva, Aston, and Libra and say, this is basically all we know about ourselves.
All right.
All you know about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
This is basically all that most of us know about ourselves.
Some of us have a bit more information than others.
So I'll go in numerical order because that's easier for me on my document. John Randall is the name that they've known him by and matches whatever identification he's had. He has talked a little bit about growing up on Ante. Wait, hang on. Think. Yeah. Growing up, not on Ante. That's that was probably something I wrote 5 years ago. Let's say that's Thurid. So John Randall grew up on Thurid in Kuristahirti, the heart of Mercure
Is
Corp.
that a correction to the data in the crime report as well, or not?
Did the crime report also say Ante?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
It is.
Yeah, Ante is not a habitable place. Nobody grows up there. The people there are
Yeah.
radioactive mutants.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that was a
Okay.
mistake that I overlooked more than once.
What a
Then.
curious place to have grown up.
I mean, have we ever waved a Geiger counter at him?
It turns out John's actually like 27 years old. Date of birth is about as expected. I'll also give you a boarding time because they were here before he boarded. He was brought onto the ship in June of 3249.
Okay.
Can you repeat that date?
June 3249.
That's not long.
Round about the time the first crime on his record.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't got the record up.
Yeah, no, I have
It
his
is.
record
You're
up.
right.
Yeah, and
You're right.
interestingly, that is one that he doesn't share with everyone else too.
Right.
Although there's one later in June
Does
that
he
he
share the
does
second
share.
one?
He
Right.
does share the second one, yeah. He shares that with
Yeah.
Portia and me.
I
Yes.
suspect most people have one like initial crime at least.
It's like you did a crime and then that got the Raz's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he kidnapped you.
Yeah. Yeah. That or like I said, maybe it's a test thing. You know? But we'll find out, I suppose.
I think it's more you go you do a thing, catch the rouse's attention, and you're on the run.
Yeah.
So
But who knows?
Das
Anyways.
has only ever been known as Das to them.
Okay.
She was picked up from Nali Varmita in Korafali, and her date of birth is not known.
Okay. Like not known anything? Vague age? Or just like nobody knows?
They say that she's never talked about her age or birth.
Right. Okay.
Now she never will.
Is it the same place as on the record? Nali Vermida?
No,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, matches.
Yeah, it is. Doug Davies is his name as far as I know.
Oh, am I Doug? Okay, y'all can call me Doug then.
Well, Doug was Davies. And he was on Vig in Amverq before Vig and left for reasons. Before Vig became encased in some kind of electrostatic phenomenon that prevents all electronics from functioning on the planet and
Huh.
up through low atmosphere or low orbit.
I probably had nothing to do with that.
That would be one hell of an explosion. He boarded in November of 3249, and I forgot to do that for Das.
What
Oops.
was date for Douglas? Sorry.
Das joined February 3249.
February 3249. Interesting.
Yeah, what was that about everyone having prior crimes before they joined Devaza?
Yeah, that's before my one on.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Although with that being said, we did basically kidnap you, so.
Shouldn't be. Hang on, let me double check that.
3249 08 12. And then February
It would be.
3249 is
Yeah.
6 months before.
Then that was a bad revision on my part. That's not correct then. It was after that.
Right.
Right.
Actually,
Okay.
you know what? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it would be wildly coincidental. August of 3249.
Fancy that.
Fancy that.
God, Diggs, I imagine it must feel like you're walking a tightrope because you know we're sitting here with the details.
Sometimes, yes. That was so. I think I mentioned to you guys before that at this point, most of my notes are 5 years old from when I first conceived all this, and I didn't have all the details that I would eventually need in those notes 5 years ago. So, like the oldest characters, the ones that got picked early on, which includes Das and Douglas, and I think that's it. They got their initial blurb with what information I thought I needed at that time, and didn't really get looked at after that. As I kept adding information that I would need to the characters that were picked later. So with some of you, I've had to go back and think, okay, where does it make sense that they joined?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I didn't think that was important. Apparently, the first time.
What was the date for Douglas again?
Douglas, I have November 3249.
Yes.
If it helps, I'm not scrutinizing things that closely.
Yeah, in Cycle 2, like I already had an if selected blurb for most of the characters, so like what were the circumstances of them boarding if they were selected. And then in Cycle 2, I started adding, boards and then the date to that little blurb. Moving on, pulling the screen back across your eyes. We come to Sarah, and Sarah is the name that they do know her by, Sarah Bramford. She is oh, you don't even know your date of birth, do you?
No.
I only know that she's about 22. That's still true? Yes, that is still true.
Do you have a place where I'm from?
Thurid.
Sorry, say again.
Thurid. On Kudi Herti. It's the 0001 all the way up in the top left.
I wish I could see that.
Oh.
I can copy it from
Same
John.
place as John, actually.
Here you go. I'll show you the map real quick. And
Yeah.
Percy. Oh, shoot, I forgot the data boarding again, didn't I?
Yes.
That's right. You two are pretty close to the number. I can just page up real quick. Joined in March of 3249.
So, age not included, I was here before anyone else so far.
So far.
Mhm.
But we know from Percy's record that he's been in a while.
Yeah.
Longer
That's
than
what I said so far.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's longer than that.
Percy is known as Percy. Percy Cameron, that's his name, as they know it. And yeah, he's been here since December 3246.
Okay.
And
That's interesting.
he's had no problem with letting everyone know his date of birth. It is as the crime report says, September
Does he get a
25th.
tally if people don't celebrate it?
Yes.
Or at least he did. Maybe he's different now.
Yeah, he did. All right. Was there any other basic stuff?
It'd be good to get the. Just for purposes of putting things together, it'd be good to get the join date for Tajima as well.
Okay. Oh, and sorry. Percy was a mercenary swarm baby. He was born on one of the ships that comprised the mercenary swarm out at Holau.
Wait, so what's a mercenary swarm?
Mercenary swarm, Holau is, or Tohoailoa, a planet in the Holau system, is a low-tech, primitive by choice society, and has seemed to have gained a protective mercenary swarm at some point in its history, which just kept growing. Now the orbit of Tohoailoa, or far out orbit, is the home of sometimes hundreds of mercenary ships, like a kind of mercenary swap meet or Times Square. They go there for leave. Sometimes they go down to the planet. There are some things to do on the planet, like hunt giant green, like solid goo energy creatures that form up out of the earth.
Oh yeah, that planet.
That's discouraged because it's
I think we should bring Elise. Sorry, that's well.
Yeah.
I don't know how meta that knowledge is currently, but
it's very.
Oh, okay.
There are rules that psychics are not allowed on the planet. So yeah, he was born there. And
so I'm a space baby, is what you're saying.
You're a space baby. Born.
Sounds better than prison baby.
In the stars.
You have a legacy of violence in your blood.
Have you seen the length of my rap sheet?
I know. Quite something.
808 is what the news report says he is. He is the exiled oldest son of late Emperor Tajima Hideyoshi.
So,
Yeah.
did he do it?
What was
he
what was the date? What was the date that he actually joined up with the Raza, though? That's the bit I'm interested in.
Let me check a different document here.
I presume sometime after the death of the emperor.
Yeah.
Unless, well, and I guess it could be before. It's not necessarily.
No, it was after the death. I will say that because I only have vague recollection of this order of events. I know that he was here before Notario, Libra, and Acid joined up.
Right.
So they don't know exactly when he came.
What constraint does that place on it? Who was the earliest of those three, and when did they join?
So they joined in 3248, in May of 3248. Libra and Acid joined together. Ish, around the same time. Wasn't exactly together.
But yeah, I suppose it'd be a bit hard to kidnap one but not the other. Or basically kidnap one but not the other.
So Libra and Acid 3248. What was Eva?
Eva Maria was August of 3248.
Do they have private bedrooms like we do?
They don't have private bedrooms now. Even though they were here longer for various reasons, whether it was their own morals or choices, they were not taken on missions. Just like Shiro was often left out of things, and Das when they did something. They didn't get flagged as main Raza crew because they weren't active in the boarding a station and exploding of it, at least not visibly.
Yeah. They're the ones that stayed on the ship and didn't get seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine like just general crew and comms and security need to stay back.
Yeah.
Whereas like me, head of gunnery, somewhat less so.
Yeah, and me, unknown.
Well, in fairness, nobody knows anything about you, judging by your crime report.
Well, looks like we still have the personal questions coming up.
We do have personal questions coming up. I think that's pretty much it for the basic information, though, unless you can think of anything else.
I can only think of like stupid questions like, what was everyone's favorite color?
Yeah.
Unless you count
I think we've got the basic stuff.
Where'd all the pre-tech come from? Oh, that's really a basic question there.
Yeah, no, that's more of a specific / group, I think.
All right, so you guys have a fairly big list of questions that you wanted to ask. Why isn't the map or the music continuing to play? Let's play this one. Yeah, and a fairly big list. Some of those were personal questions, and others will count against the question tolerance limit. Let's do them both together, and we'll just count the questions toward the question tolerance limit. And to figure out what that limit is, I'm going to need a charisma-based talk or connect check from each of you.
Oh, I'm good at these. Oh god, I shouldn't have said that.
Hold on, but I have an expert. I don't know
expert.
though.
Oh, I knew I should
Experts
have put
prepare your
points as well.
rerolls.
Hold off on
Uh,
rerolls until everybody has rolled once, please.
Yeah.
Just to keep the chat clean.
I'm kind of happy.
It
with
was
the 6 though.
talk or something with charisma, right?
Talk or connect with charisma.
Right. Okay.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
All right.
That's not bad at all.
There are 2 thresholds that you can meet, 8 and 10. And so anyone that did not get an 8, well, anyone that did not get a 10, I guess, would be your threshold there. And is an expert, you can reroll if you want to use your reroll for the scene.
Yeah. Nope.
You're rolling much more poorly.
Oh goodness. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we're going to be taking those first rolls then.
Yeah, I don't mind. That seems a perfectly good use for this. Jackal, who do you want to target?
Myself.
Go ahead.
So Jimmy couldn't help Douglas. He was the only one that didn't make it in the first place.
Hey. All right.
Nice. Nice.
I have a lot of questions. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And hey, you wound up with the highest roll, so.
Yep.
Give me a second. Counting is hard. Sorry, guys.
I've just realised that with you using that power, everyone got a reroll except me.
Yep.
I think I can technically use. I've got enough effort to use it again. I don't know if Dex wants me to be able to commit effort more than once on a group skill check in a sense.
Let me take a look here.
Because it's not. I can't be used on more than any given target once per day. But technically,
Right.
I have an effort to extend out to the crew.
Well, it is
effort.
an effort for the day. How much effort do you have, just out of curiosity?
I have 3 more that is uncommitted for today.
Yeah. I mean, the cost is fairly high for that. You know that the day's not nearly over.
All right, I'll commit 1 for Douglas to try and get an 8.
You sure? I mean, I don't feel too strongly about it.
It can't hurt, and I still have 2 effort left over.
All right.
It would be nice to get everyone over the threshold.
Yeah.
3rd time's the charm, right?
Now what she gets to do.
That's another 2.
That's
There we
not
go.
it.
Hey,
That gets everyone up to the 8.
It does, yeah.
good
So
team.
that is
No regrets.
6 questions, not including the 2 personal you get. And I've got a list from. Well, you know what? I don't want to go necessarily in order of the list. Why don't we do a little bit round robin? And I guess, do you guys consider the conversation in the planning channel, the session 7 planning channel, is everyone in agreement with those questions?
I didn't have any issues with them.
I quite enjoyed all the questions there. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I think very highly of both the list of questions and the person that put it there.
Yes.
Says the person who put it there.
Thank you for
Exactly.
compiling that, by the way.
Jokes aside, though, that's not like a full list because Ginja also added in some other stuff. So
Yeah, I do want to. I don't know exactly what we can ask, but I do want to point out the things being placed for us to find, because that seems to keep coming up, and I do want to try and figure out what's going on with that.
Okay. Ginja, I'm gonna ask you to hold the. Well, I can't do that because so you've got 6 questions that are for the group and not personal, and my hesitation here is that one, I didn't plan out for your questions. I have answers for them. I just don't have them already prepared.
You don't have them written down, and yeah.
Right, but I don't want to tell you to wait until later with them because you've only got 6 questions outside of the personal ones. And so I don't want to you to run out and find out, oh wait, this was a high priority question we wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Everyone take a look at Ginja's last couple of posts there. And the puzzle box you can treat as personal if you want to ask that as a personal question. But the other questions are those things that you would want to make sure you get into the 6 questions.
I feel like the cube sphere, I intended for that to be rolled in as part of the pre-tech questions, like where do we get all this pre-tech? The ship, the thundergun, the multi-tool, those cubes. Because I'm just kind of assuming they're pre-tech. So I guess that's part of that question, if that makes sense.
Makes sense to me. Yeah, just wasn't listed in that thing, so wasn't sure if it had been folded in there.
The other 2 are solid.
Yeah, number 3 is the only one that I'm sort of definitely thinking we should try and get in there somewhere. I don't know how to what we asked about, but I do want to. I do want to find what's going on there.
Okay. Well, why don't we address that first? Does anybody have an objection to that being one of your 6 questions?
I think I can only object if I know what the other 5 questions are.
That's
I was
fair.
gonna say, yeah.
Well,
I think
there's a big list above.
Yeah.
With 9 questions.
I think I'm going to handle this a little bit differently. Yeah. So what we'll do?
I think I object to that being the first question, if that makes sense.
It does. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to go get your personal questions first. We'll just run through those, and then I'm going to give you guys some time to talk about what you want your 6 questions to be. Now that you know how many you have, and that actually, I think now that I'm talking it out, that makes more sense because then you know which of your personal questions did and didn't get answered. And those were freebies, so we'll do that first.
Okay.
So, who wants to ask their first personal question? And is it on the list already?
Yep, I'll go first if nobody else is jumping out.
Okay.
So what Percy will do, or what he might have done, is because he knows these guys will potentially know some stuff about us from what we talked about before. Percy will have gone back to his quarters and picked up the picture of him with the attractive brunette woman that he found. Obviously has no recognition. So he's gonna reach into a pocket and pull out the picture, which he's taking care with because clearly it was important. Like it had a little sort of, in all the chaos of my room initially, that was one of the few things that was kept in a clear spot,
Mhm.
And give me just a second, because one of the kittens is trying to get out the fish food. Zappa? No. The little shit, get down for there. Hey, put your claws away. Little bastard. Okay. Yeah. So, obviously, this picture was important because it was in, like, practically the only clear spot in the chaos that was Percy's room initially. And he'll take out the picture and just say to the others, did I... Obviously, this is me. Do you have any idea who this woman is? It seemed important. Did I ever talk about, like, a girlfriend or a wife or just some woman that was important to me before
a little bit of
or after I
sadness
joined up?
in her voice as Natario answers, trying to be comforting. That was your girlfriend. She was having a baby. Your baby. Lever adds, that was also the hospital incident.
Oh shit, wait, hang on. wait, Percy's getting a little bit tangled up for words. Hospital is it? Shit.
Libra adds some clarity to that. And
violence 3246 0825 violence in nitrogen hospital zone.
Yeah, you were apparently recognized from your days of piracy. Your girlfriend Delilah had gone to the hospital with pregnancy complications as an emergency hospital visit, and Percy didn't take. He blamed himself a lot. Didn't take steps to, try and avoid detection. Just wanted to be there with her, and he doesn't know if he has a child or not, because he didn't get a chance to see the birth. Delilah was taken in an emergency, and he was arrested. Well, they tried to arrest him.
They tried.
Yeah, the crime report shows how that went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I know what? Did I say anything but whether she survived? Did I know?
You never talked about it.
Shit.
You kept saying that you were just going to amass a fortune and return to live a peaceful life on the farm with her and her parents. Was your dream?
Yeah, doesn't sound so bad, except obviously now I mean, sorry guys, I need a minute. And Percy just sort of like, there's some sort of emotion going on. He's not quite. Percy is not very good at vocalizing his emotions. In the first, like he was a space pirate for 17 years. He learned how to push his emotions down pretty well. He is not the best at vocalizing what he's feeling, and he doesn't have words for what's going through him right now, especially since it comes with the added complication of I don't even remember this, but so I have no context for this. So he's kind of struggling and just like eyes closed, hand over his mouth, like carry on. And he just sort of gestures to the rest of the group.
Yeah, who wants to have their world shattered next?
Yeah, we're starting off awful heavy, aren't we?
We are.
I just wanted to ask whether we had a band or not.
Yeah. Well, on the bright side, I did at least get a 2-for-1 because I had 3 questions, but I was hoping that the second one would be part of my basics. But hey, I'm not complaining. Also, yeah, Percy is apparently maybe a dad.
Do you want to use the band as one of your personal questions?
Me? I was saving that for the end.
Okay.
In case I thought of something else.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I am tempted. I am perfectly fine if with my comment being said like that being one of my questions. just to ease the tension a little bit.
I'm going to leave the actual decision on that for you.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and say if we're just doing around, I like that to be that'll be my first question then, just because I really need to break the tension after that. That was a little heavy.
This does break the tension, sort of. It evokes an immediate and visceral response from Acid. Sorry, no music, never again.
Wait, again.
If he says it as lightly as you say, just there, I'll give you a look. Like, God, I'm having a moment here.
Yeah, and we all had a moment with
Old bear band name.
with a red alert triggered by Libra screaming. Libra shrugs. I like scream metal.
Wait, so there was a band, but then not again?
And Natario says, there were some practices, you could say. Acid chimes in again. She set off a red alert. And Libra just shrugs again. I got excited.
I mean, kind of impressive, really.
So yeah, with a little bit more bantering and joking around about it. Apparently, Libra and Douglas were a duo. I think that's still called a band, right?
A short-lived duo. Sure, why not?
Yeah. There were some differences in style, but they worked around those. And there were also some cameos and guest appearances from other crew on what was also a short-lived karaoke night at the Raza.
I will nod seriously its head. Good to know.
Did I break the tension?
Maybe.
Alright, who else has personal questions?
I could go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like we've sort of got the thing of like I got kidnapped. What actually happened there? Like I think we've just got from the basic info that was after the thing on my record. So I guess that's not related. But like, how did I go from not Raza crew to Raza crew? How's that
So
look?
let me let you metagame just a little bit. You can make
Okay.
this a personal question for Das, and it can be answered for Das. But you could also make it a one of your limited questions and get answered for all potential kidnappees.
Yeah.
So do you want to hold that, or do you want to just go straight to finding out about Das?
I mean, honestly, I don't think I have many good questions to fill the slot if I didn't ask this.
Okay.
And I guess I could pull the puzzle box thing in, but like, why do I like puzzle boxes is probably not something that they're going to be able to answer. So, yeah, like I think this way, and then if we want to ask another kidnapping question as one of the 6, we can. But I do want to know this one at least.
Okay. So,
If I can just chime in, out of character, I'm not really that bothered about the kidnapping of the other 2 people who are about the kidnapping of the princess who isn't even here. It's like,
okay,
it's that's interesting, So
sounds
Yeah.
good to me. So, what you're told immediately is that Das was a stowaway. And none of them, not even Acid, want to tell the story of how Das convinced Portia Lynn to let her, as a stowaway, live. There's a it's just a general downturn of of their mood. And again, I'll give you some meta. You can either leave it here and that doesn't count as a personal question, or you push it and you will get a little more information, and then it counts as a personal question. So if you're satisfied with this, you still have 2 personal questions. If you want, you'll get the rest.
I might need to think about that one.
Okay. The reason that it will count if you press is that there's a clear and obvious reluctance to tell more.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Let's let that sit and settle. And anyone else have personal questions?
I guess I will go next.
Yeah.
Elise's first question is going to be, well, I'll phrase it as she would phrase it. Nobody seemed to really react when I said that I think I can see the future, so how much about that is known? And is that the reason why I was brought into this crew?
That's the word for. Yeah, they do know. And as for why she was brought on to the crew, and also written as how much she used them. So, Sarah Bramford quickly, perhaps too quickly, became indispensable to Portia Lynn. It raised some suspicions. This would be Libra reciting kind of monotone. Raised some suspicions. But Sarah was able to peer into the future and avoid active galactic mandate patrols. She her visions also helped them limit their personal exposure and reduce the deaths of innocents, as well as perform some jobs without ever being identified or leaving a trace. So yeah, they know that she has visions, not always perfect and not always on command, but they don't really seem to have a clear idea of how it works, whether it's on command or pure marbles in a machine. But they do know that that was a big part of her role on the ship,
And I
and
ruffled a lot of feathers by being that indispensable that quickly.
she ruffled a lot of feathers by being that indispensable that quickly, and being granted access to all the systems on the ship.
I did think that was weird.
Yeah, that explains that bit at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah had
Okay, so
said that having just more information available to her improves the accuracy of predictions, which I'll let you decide if Elise knows or suspects that that is untrue. In a meta
Can you
sense,
repeat
that
that
is
one more
untrue.
time? Could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. So she had gotten access because she said that having more information gives her visions more clarity. In the strict sense of a psychic precog who knows what psychic precog is, that is untrue. And it's your choice whether Sarah or Elise, I should say, recognizes that as a lie or believes it now.
Okay. I think that took care of two questions at once.
Kind of. There is the other question that I had written down for her was what did Sarah do to piss off most of her colleagues? And there's more to that one if you want it.
I will absolutely take it. But
it is a separate question now.
That illuminated a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll circle back around that. Who else has a question they want to put forward? Nox, you want to bring one from John?
Sure. Let me just refresh myself on what it was.
I only had the one that was in chat, I think. That was who are the people in the pictures?
Yeah, that would be it. The people in the pictures, were they memorial or was that crew?
There were those were all of John's old military and mercenary buddies. By accounts, he outlived them all, but there's quite a span of mostly not unscrupulous, like not shady people. There are, of course, some. You're never going to get a group of several pictures of groups of people that that dude's so shady that doesn't happen. But for the most part, they looked like respectable military people, and they say that John always had a story about a ship battle or an assault, a mercenary job, and well, there have been a lot of losses in his life.
Point of clarification: is it mentioned where they were part of the old military background?
All over the sector. John was
Okay.
a prolific mercenary who did work for the corps, the corps, as well as private governments and rich private individuals. And I'll add one more thing there. There's no indication, no mention from any of the three here that he ever, did things that he regretted. Like, no tragic jobs like blowing up Jessup Station.
Right.
Killing 10,000 people. Alright, that is one from each of you. With the exception of Dash, who still has 2 if you don't want to push further on it. I heard.
Yeah.
What's that?
I kind of do. Yeah.
All right.
Push. I want this. I want to know the story.
Okay. Well. Oh, funny. The data's correct in my notes here. So, Dash joined in August of 3249, just before Sarah was hired. Libra is taking the what would you say it? Fawn on her sword. Taking one for the team. And is going to relay that Das was when she was discovered 2 weeks after they left Nali Vermita, empty-handed, by the way, because there was someone that came screaming at them about, well, not screaming, but there was someone that came and caused a ruckus and made it so that they had to leave before they could accomplish what they'd come for. And 2 weeks later, Das was discovered and put in an airlock. Porcelain eventually decided, after Das said she stole some Mercure Core super tech, and despite opposition from some crew, that having an innocent looking kid who wanted to stick it to the cores would be useful. And with a somber tone, she says that Das was sobbing for her life in that airlock for over 2 hours.
Okay.
Even Acid looks upset with this, and she apparently knew it. This isn't the first time she's hearing this.
I wonder if any of us were opposed.
I couldn't
Libra
get
just
opposed, I wasn't there. Although I feel like Percy probably would have been very vehement about not killing a child given circumstances.
Well, yeah. And also the fact that, Das would have been... Well, Das... Yeah, she wouldn't have been much younger than he was when he started mercening, so...
Huh.
a general downer of a mood in the room right now.
On the plus side, I think that's technically not kidnapping.
Does Das say that, or is that
right?
Alex a character?
I think it's going to be like she's not saying it to anyone, but I think it gets said. It's not
Libra
technically
opens,
kidnapping them.
spreads her arms towards Das in the iconic "Come give me a hug" motion.
Okay, yeah, definitely going for that.
Okay. Das gets a hug from a great big, very sturdily built woman.
Yep.
And it is a good hug.
Good.
So who's next?
Maybe it'll pick the mood back up. They can bitch about how much they hated Sarah.
Yeah, let's
So yeah, the way that Elise phrases it is basically just, I've been hearing from a lot of people that Sarah wasn't exactly the nicest. So what exactly did she do outside of,
she wasn't.
I don't know, being skilled?
Acid takes this since Libra is occupied with Das and Nataru is still a bit choked up herself. And says that Sarah was pretty much a hot, cold bitch. She was hot / cold, not like as in she's hot. Although
I got it.
Acid, this is actually Acid in character, and she says, although, well, kind of, for a human.
But also emphasis on the bitch.
Says that Sarah was nice when she wanted something, curt and standoffish when she didn't. She came across very fake because of this. And Acid kind of leans forward, but mostly, you were always nervous and jittery around Shiro. The most honorable and trusty human I've ever met. Cocks her head, and that's suspicious. Why would someone be nervous around someone so upstanding?
Why indeed?
You're asking me like I know.
I think I'm glad you don't. Sorry, you seem okay now.
Yeah, if there's one thing I want to get very clear cut by the end of this, nobody is going to be calling me Sarah. Sarah is not who I am.
Acid nods and remarks, yes, that fits the profile also.
What profile?
Of the QED.
What now?
Is this that technology that Acid said about earlier?
Yes, it is. It's was a developing trend technology intended for extreme psychotherapy.
You're saying I got psychotherapized into being somewhat better?
I mean, I think she's saying we all did.
It was the intended use. Someone goes through.
Well, it's not like it's really taken to anyone else.
I don't know if that's why it was done to you.
Yeah, were we all assholes?
No.
That answers that then, yeah. Probably not the reason.
I mean, judging by what John said, we're on at least 2 out of 5.
You know, you take some like nice defining moment for me as a new individual, I suppose, and you really just have to take like a massive crap on it, right? My whole self-discovery train, just like, oh yeah, it's just because of this.
Acid looks a little bit rebuked, but doesn't say anything. Over the top of Dash's head, Libra quietly says, "Don't take it personally. She is a bitch also."
From one bitch to another.
Actually, if you're nice now, then she's the biggest bitch on the ship.
I don't
Wow.
know if
Acid shrugs.
Nice.
Catty in here.
Koana is just standing behind all of you like, what is... what? She is speechless and horrified.
Turns out the crew of the Raza was never professional.
Actually, that's a good reminder. At least looks back at Colin. Am I nice now, or was I nicer to you before?
I don't know anymore. But if it helps, I like you now.
No,
Maybe I didn't.
not to be offensive, just
I mean, I don't know. It sounds like I didn't know you before, but now I do. And I do like you. Now.
Yeah, for what it's worth, you've been nothing but straightforward and reliable with me as well.
You're kind
Everyone
of...
else can vouch for that, right?
Yeah, you're kind of
That's a
kick-ass
solid
now.
ground.
You're... I mean... You could take over for Porcelain as the bitch... not bitch, the kick-ass babe of the ship.
was that an in-character slip too?
Yes, it was.
Elise is just fucking laughing.
And she is... Koana is red-faced.
Oh.
There's a little clarification across Libra and Notario that, yeah, so basically, that, and combined with, all the access, is why there was some, general mistrust and dislike of Sarah. And she takes one arm off of Dash's back and opens it towards Elise. Would you like to join us? Elise.
Elise is like, it looks like she's about to say something a couple of times before she just gets up and goes in for the hug as well.
Okay.
Just you wait, we'll have everyone in by the end.
she does look around the room. Like,
I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. Percy, how about you?
Percy's mostly got himself under control by this point, but he's quietly taking it a little bit personally. Nobody offered him a hug when he found out that nobody knows whether his girlfriend or child is still alive.
Libra motions with her fingers to
he doesn't
Percy.
actually say that out loud, though. He doesn't actually say it out loud.
That's okay. Her eyes catch his, and whether she sees something on his face or not, she still motions him toward them. It's not like a command. It's just kind of you wanna?
What the hell? Come on. I will go in and Percy's noticeably taller than Das, and
Das is getting...
Everybody's noticeably taller than Das.
I think Elise as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember how tall she is.
Das is tiny.
Well, yeah, obviously. But Percy will join.
I think Elise is second shortest. So.
Oh, right.
I want to say Elise is 5'6". This is off the top of my head.
Mhm.
I want to say Lisa's
Yeah, but-
5'6" and Percy is 6'1".
somewhere around 6 foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I imagine
I think Percy's
kind of-
6'1", Douglas 6'2", Das is 5'2".
Yeah.
I want to
So-
say
so
John
Baz-
is 5'9", somewhere around there.
The important point here is that Das is kind of squished in the middle of the group hug now because Percy's
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get everyone
Yeah.
and he has long arms.
Yeah. It's like this started as Libra and Das, and it has rapidly become like Das is the center of the snowball, and it just keeps gathering people on the outside.
And with that, Kawana does the "oh," and she literally bounces over to join the hug, uninvited.
All right, kick her out.
No, I did say, come on.
Yeah. How tall is Kawana actually? I don't think we got that.
Kawana, I think I'd put it 5'8".
Right. So taller than Elise even. Yeah.
I think that makes their interactions even funnier with Elise.
Yeah. Yeah. She's. I think she's 2 inches taller than you.
Just recontextualizing that first interaction. No.
Yeah.
I realized the kind of character, part of the characterization that I was aiming for from Kawana, was actually from Denise Richards in Starship Troopers. A little bit, like not all the sexy stuff that Denise Richards is capable of doing, but there's a little bit of that character hidden beneath the bubbly surface. A little bit of going to stand straight and do my part and be my best to her. All right.
And also, not so quietly has a thing about strong, independent women. Apparently,
Seems to appreciate them. Yeah.
Hey, who you play?
It does. Anyone else have a personal question they want to dig into?
It sounds like the question about the pretext not terribly personal now.
No, that's not going to be.
Yeah, this is actually.
Sure.
Oh, do you go? Okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So, presuming that we I have no idea where that sentence was going, but Percy will actually, he's gonna go. Right, there was something else I was gonna ask about. Hang on, and he will head back to wherever we were sitting before, and then come back with the combat rifle that had been stored in his room before. Remember the one that at the very first session, Dixie said it felt the most right in his hands?
Yeah.
And he's going to say, so it was a weird thing. I said, you might know something about this. You were talking about that Trune memory tech.
She's rolling her eyes.
Oh, okay.
You talked about that gun so much.
Excellent. So you do have an answer for my question. What I was going to say was, obviously, no episodic memory, but this, the feel of this gun and the weight of it just felt like, when I saw 5 guns back in my room, obviously there was that big fucking beast of a gun, but this fairly basic thing was what I immediately gravitated towards. And the weight of it just feels right. You say I never shut up at the gun. So clearly if I never shut up, then you must know whatever the story is.
And I'm not surprised you feel so drawn to it. that's how the QED works. Your dad gave that to you. Dad, and she does the air quotes. And why is this a thing? This is so stupid, doing the air quotes.
You're
Humans
doing it.
come up with strange rituals.
So we don't come up with mind-altering technology.
What's the connection there to the memory tech? Is it sort of you gravitate towards familiar objects or something?
Some things can't be erased without drastically altering the person. I realize how that sounds. She looks over at Elise briefly, given your circumstances. But trust me, moving familiarity and life experience memories like that was worse. Vegetable worse. So, yes, if you were brain drained by a QED, you would still feel a connection to a gun that you've had with you your entire life.
Yeah, it makes sense, I suppose. Sorry, you said dad with air quotes. What's the...
Yeah. Your adoptive dad. The one you called Trail. Also the man who killed your family.
Hold up, what?
That feels like, piece of information, and then piece of information stated in the same tone of voice that, like, wait, what?
Okay. It's like, it's like info, bombshell.
Only way it could have been better is if that bombshell dropped in the middle and they just continued with, other harmless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, geez, what a way to tell someone they were adopted.
Adopted father.
Yeah, no.
Glad you stepped up.
No. So when Ashley says, also the person that killed your family, Percy will go, hold up, what?
Yeah. Apparently they're just casualties on a ship, and there's innocent little Percy crying in a pool of blood.
What was the guy's name again?
Trail Harmon.
Trail?
Yeah, as stupid as it sounds.
Trail Harmon.
Says the person who's named Acid.
That's absolutely a trope
Be
in
nice.
all events, right?
No, Percy will actually say, be nice if anyone says someone who's named Acid. So that's me, hey? Born on a freaking cloud of mercenary ships, adopted out of literally a pool of blood by the guy that killed my family, who gave me a gun, became a merc when I was, 17? Hoping to get enough money to settle down with my girlfriend, and then she almost dies in fucking pregnancy complications. Maybe does actually die. I don't fucking know. Do I have a kid? I don't fucking know.
She wasn't your girlfriend for decades, though.
Not my girlfriend for decades, but you know what I mean? That ended up being the motive. And then... yeah, then... suddenly I just walk onto the bus, I'm like, hey, hello. God, no wonder I was such an asshole.
Notario adds some context, says, the way you told it, your crew, including your dad, abandoned you on Thurud after a job went bad. You were injured and Delilah nursed you back to health. And then you decided you were going to settle down with her. And Acid adds, and then the hospital. And both Libra and Notario glare at her.
Elise is also going to say, can you not have let us have a singular nice moment out of anything.
I suppose.
God, well, I did ask for my history, didn't I? But yeah, God, no wonder I was such a. But according to that, John, I was such an asshole before. Okay, so if that bastard's still out there, then I am going to shoot him with this fairy gun. Anybody else got any questions?
Acid looks like she has something to say.
Oh?
I do have a personal question I've come up with in the meantime, actually. What, did I have a good reason that I gave for the whole, arson, mass murder, terrorism on Vig?
You said you were framed.
I believe it.
This is Natario jumping in here. He said that your band, all of your best friends, died in that fire. You said you were framed for the first one. The second one was you.
Right, I imagine I was right pissed.
15 years in prison.
I had a lot of time to build up being pissed. Got it.
Acid looks like she has another comment, but she holds it.
Well, no, come on, don't be shy.
Yeah, you look like you're about to say something a minute ago.
She glances over at Elise, then back at Douglas. Also a lot of time to learn your craft. You weren't a bomb maker before prison.
Huh. Well, I guess they helped me find my passion then.
Just a chill dude with a guitar. Wouldn't have hurt anyone. At least the way you told.
Good to know.
You looked like you were going to talk a second ago after I said I was going to shoot. After I said I was going to shoot my adopted dad. Thoughts?
It'll be
Oh, was
difficult.
that about your adopted dad?
It'll be more difficult than you think it is. He raised you, and your brain still remembers that even if you can't.
We'll see.
Alright, I've got one more personal question available for Das and for John. And I want to do the get the last of the personal questions out before we take a break, because during the break I'm going to task you with deciding what how you want to prioritize the other questions you have left.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the whole break, obviously take your break,
Yeah.
and we can spill over to game time. It is game stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'll
yeah,
take
Ginja
the
or
other one of
Nox,
mine.
anything?
Yeah, guess I'll take the other one of mine. Dazzle sort of. I mean, part of what I was going to ask has sort of already been answered based on like how I got here, being a stowaway. But maybe I said something about it. But like prison-born orphan and stowaway and that don't really have a ton of information. So, like, did I ever talk about family or anything like that? Did anyone take on those roles on the Raza? Me being well. Yeah.
Yes. 607 was or Das was apparently quite close with 607.
Who was?
He took her under his wing. That's the one that you know as Calvin Rick. Took her.
The one that Das found a picture of in her puzzle box, captioned with Griffin Cage.
Yep.
Yes, in someone else's room, in what I assume was his room, right?
I believe that was his room. Yeah. I think you had.
Can I link that puzzle box into this question then? Given
That one, sure.
Finished 607. Yeah, like that puzzle box and potentially the Griffin Cage bit as well. I don't know how much I can pull in, but
yeah. This is actually working a general question into Freebie Personal because of the linkage with 607. But Libra, obviously the hug has dispersed by now. Libra looks across and says, he was undercover galactic mandate. Griffin Cage is his real name. And they bring up a couple of crime reports. Well, not crime reports, but news reports.
Oh.
Along with dates, for those of you who like dates.
yes. Huh.
So yeah, there's a little bit of a sympathy from Natalia. And at this point it seems almost uncontrollable for her, but an under the breath from Acid says, "Shoot first next time, kid." Was that a is Das asking her to?
Yeah, clarify what's.
She glances around. He betrayed you. Shoot first next time. Or he was going to.
He's dead then?
Nope. He is in a galactic mandate prison. He's in Hyperion Station. He hasn't been dropped down to Nali Varmita. He's still in the what is supposed to be temporary holding on the station above Nali Varmita, the prison station. So yeah, that was apparently the father figure that Das attached herself to. All right, real quick, Nox, you there? Got anything else for John?
For personal questions, no. The other questions were, I guess, figuring out what the other people plan to do now.
Okay. So why don't we take a we'll still leave it at 15 minutes. It is a break, so like I said, I don't want to say do stuff while you're on your break, but at least put in the back of your mind while we're on break how you think you'd like to prioritize, and we can run down a quick list once we get back. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and put the break card up.
Break.
So I hope it hasn't been too talky this session.
I've been enjoying it personally.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm always fine with the talkie sessions, the info dump
Yeah.
sessions.
I thought
There's
it
a
was
lot
good
of-
session.
There's a lot of info in this campaign, which it's fun.
I've taken the time to kind of write out 6 questions that I think might be most important. Also, things just came to mind. I can also maybe hopefully summarizes some of the 9 questions into one, or not 9 to 1, but 2 of the 9 into 1.
Get some of those 9 questions answered with some of these.
Yeah. No. Just
get more of the 9
I can
questions
ask.
answered.
I can ask all the questions in one question. What's the answer to all our questions?
This is some monkey's paw shit.
Tell me everything. Literally everything. Not a single thing unanswered.
Yeah.
I'm definitely fine swapping out those questions with other questions if there's stuff that is more prevalent.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I think it's a reasonable starting point, and then we can look at, is there a different question we want to sub in for one of them or 2 of them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I do like that list, but there are then others that are like, this is also good. So,
yeah. I don't know if I were to take any of those questions away, I would personally get rid of 3. I feel like we already know that, and it would just be getting the
It's a
same
bit corpse,
details
right?
again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the corporations and the galactic mandate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, we know who the enemies are roughly, but it was a question there that I wanted to make sure was surmised.
Let me also
Yeah.
take away questions 1 and 4, because before we get into the big questions, you're gonna get a little bit of info about that. It may not be as fully detailed as you'd like, but it will. I believe it will at least give you enough that you don't want to use a question on more.
Okay.
So maybe not take them away, but mark them as maybe getting it for free.
Okay.
Because remember,
So
I did
1 and
also say
4.
that they're gonna tell you a little bit, that it just is information that they think you should know.
Maybe we should get that information first so we can decide.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. I mean that's fair.
Back here.
Because if they partially answer 1 in a way that is satisfactory to us for the moment, no need to pry further.
Right. I'm definitely going to, like, when we get back from break. Are we back from break yet? Not quite.
No.
When we get back from break, that'll be the first thing that I do, is have one of them give you a little bit of a rundown of the Raza, blah blah blah.
So you've lost all your memories.
Yeah, basically that. So yeah, what the Raza was doing and why these 3 weren't on it when you guys were. Those are the two things that are definitely going to get answered. Um, oh, and why was the Raza doing what you guys were doing? So those three things are going to be answered in some small detail once we get back in.
Just saying, I've
I'm
got
going to put that.
the.
I think that's an order that I like, and we just go as far along as we get.
Hang on, Ginja. What was that, Nux?
At this point, they've started an awful headache.
Oh.
So I'm going to be pretty quiet going forward.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then if there's more questions we want to put in, we can put them in the question marks. And the question marks are sort of semi-deliberately placed that, like, the question marks are like question 7, but 2 of the ones before them are maybe we don't end up asking them, so.
Right.
Let's take a moment to review the proposed questions that got put here and like the order that they got put in.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this as long as under allies we make sure that we like we ask about the where or how do we refuel, resupply, repair, etc.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily allies. That could be neutral parties, but still, like, when you're a bunch of known terrorists, anybody who is willing to treat you as a neutral party is effectively an ally, because most people by default are your enemies.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Sort of the second one on Jackal's list. I don't know if it quite goes into the refueling bits, but
support
crew
people,
allies,
okay.
support people. Yeah.
Okay,
I was
so
just
as long
bringing
as
them down to one word, so it didn't get super long. I was just doing ordering things.
No, that's what I mean. Like, as long as we're including that and support people, then yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
Cool. Yeah.
Although we do also, no, never mind. I was going to say we do also need to ask them, like, what's the plan now? But then again, that's for us to decide as well. Like, it's not something we can ask them for and answer for.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like a
Unless
we all decide together rather than something we ask them.
Yeah, unless we're like trying to say whether we had any unfinished business, but yeah, that way no one like that can wait until after the Q&A session.
Yep. Also got to help to know what we were originally doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I just had a thought.
Go on.
I think we were warned. I think we knew this was going to happen.
Oh,
How do you figure?
The data pad that I have with the file.
the memories. The song memories.
Well, that data pad was genetically locked, right? So
Right.
the only person who can access that data pad is me.
Right.
And there's a file on there that points to this tube thing.
The Griffin Cage thing. Oh, wait,
No, that was the other
was
one. Griffin
yeah.
Cage was the box we found in the other quarters.
Yeah.
That was in Sector 7
Yeah.
quarters. This is the one that I found in my quarters.
That still hasn't
Yeah.
been opened yet.
Yeah,
That
so
still
the
is
data
not
pad
open.
points you. Yeah, so the data pad points you towards this puzzle box that you're still tinkering with.
Yeah,
Okay.
the video file thing. It just feels like I've left myself something. And
Wait,
made it hard to get to because I knew that nobody like if I made it hard enough, I'd have known that nobody else would get to it.
Wait, so you said there was a video file? What? Remind me about the video file?
I'm fairly sure I showed it to everyone. That was the musical.
Yeah, it was Cats, the musical.
Yeah, Cats the musical,
Yeah,
and
that
one
was the
song got
static.
replaced with static.
Right. Yeah.
And we were able to determine or find
Yeah.
somewhere that
And
song was.
I'm
called
almost
memory.
wondering if we should put that like what is going on with the tube and the video file into the questions, but I also kind of feel like maybe that's a thing they're not even necessarily going to know because it, like I say, it feels like it's Dax leaving a clue for herself rather than anything else. Although, given Acid's knowledge of potentially the tech, that might be something to probe at. Because she would potentially know whether that would work.
Yeah, we really haven't gotten much information about the tech, have we?
Yeah. Do we want to add like another tech question on this in the question marks, like what is going on with this memory tech? What's all the stuff? And possibly try and fold the puzzle box into it.
Yeah, just like tell us
Like
more
that'd
about
be-
this.
Yeah,
Tell
like
us
that'd
more
be
about this
question.
print memory tech, basically.
It'd basically be question 7. After like we'd get to it, assuming we didn't ask one of the maybe frees.
Yeah.
I suspect we're not going to end up asking the maybe frees, so we get 2 extra on top of which maybe we ask about enemies or maybe there's something else. But I think more info on the memory tech is probably a good idea.
Yeah, enemies seems like quite a straightforward one. Like I think we can assume that most people.
There's a reason that's on the end on my list. Is like
Honestly,
we don't really need to ask that one.
Honestly, if we get 2 extra freebies, then that's one to include like more about the crib memory tech. If it gets to the point where we're going to ask who are the enemies of this known group of terrorists, then I would rather ask them, how did we end up with a big box of guns and armor addressed to Paradise?
And I'm going to jump in here and say that these questions and the limitations on them, try and reserve those for the past, because things like asking about the memory tech, that's going to be an ongoing story arc that you don't need to spend a question on.
Okay.
That's already happening.
Okay.
Cool.
We are back, by the way.
Okay. We could also throw in a question about the Halcyon disturbance, or I suppose there's less of a reason to. Well, no, it's not really less of a reason.
Yeah, because we've got the thing about Elijah Brown, right?
Like, even though we've learned about 607, the rest of the question about the Halcyon disturbance is still legit.
Yeah.
So that's a freebie. That's gonna be a freebie. And let me bring us back from break officially. Hold your conversation. Make a note if you need to. If there's any chatter among any of your characters about this Elijah Brennan and the whole halcyon disturbance thing happening over there in Thurid. Then Acid spits and calls him a poser. Let me find. I just passed up my notes here.
I've just realised we forgot. I know that'll probably be a freebie, but I've just realised that we forgot another important one. Although I think it'll hopefully be free. How many of us were there before, and who were they? Just so that we know when we see a name on the news, is that one of those that's wandered off, or is it just a random person?
Yeah.
I think that goes into allies.
So
True, yeah.
nobody here
We'll see.
knows Brannon or Wayne. Both of those people using the Roz's name on the news recently, well, reasonably recently, are unknown. That's a knee-jerk reaction you get from Acid, and I'm giving you that answer as a freebie.
Okay, so basically they'll just... Percy doesn't seem too impressed by that. He's saying, so they'll try to make themselves seem bigger by attaching their names to, oh, we are of the same mind as this big scary group. Fear us as well. Fucking macho posturing.
The Libra, follows from that. The Raza has been out of action for 6 months without the threat of Raza retaliation. Yes, copycats have risen up.
So it sounds like we left quite the power vacuum.
Raza was a big... The Raza took a lot of space in
space?
In power space, yes.
Big ship. Needs a lot of space.
So...
In space, yes.
The three crew you got here fill you in on some details about why the Raza was in Stet. Why the rest of them were not, and what you were doing. It says that
Get your popcorn, lads. This is gonna be good.
it was near the end of February. Portia Lynn had met with a frequent but secret contact on Astos. Only John knew his name. And Portia Lynn. By the way, I do want to point out that Portia Lynn is her full first name. That's not first and last. Portia Lynn is her first name. Portia Lynn only referred to him as Tabor. A-B-O-R. But the job was to destroy Paradise mining colony on Stet. It was marked as a high-value Union mining operation. You were told to expect Union to have fleets positioned to intercept arrival from all known locations. And you were given a rudder to an unknown location as part of the job. You guys already had cargo bound for Stet, so why not? Portia Lynn was suspicious, but nobody could put a finger on anything that was actually wrong. Android and Acid had inspected the rudder. It didn't show any signs of being a fake rudder or forged in any way. And everyone was confident that that was, actual rudder information. You just finished some repairs at Gorman 1760. So Portia Lynn split off the crew based on some suspicions. Would you like to map up?
Please.
Okay. Because she had her suspicions, she had the three of them split off, and see, Gorman 1760 is in gun, by the way. 0608.
Okay.
She
Okay.
had
I was
the
gonna
three
say
of them.
that I feel like that's in somewhere there, but I can't remember the exact thing.
It is, but they were told that Union would even have, knowing the Rosa's capability, would even have an intercept fleet there. The location that you were given is right here. Let me see if I can. Nope, can't do that. Where's my GM? Nope, that's the wrong layer. Okay. Yeah, I think this is right. Layer, token layer. Does that show up? No.
I
Where
briefly
the?
saw an arrow that said 5 hexagons next to it. From gun to step. Yeah, I can see it again. I also saw a yellow arrow flickering briefly. There it is.
Okay, what the hell? Alright, can you see this location?
No.
Yeah, that was pointed from gun to Hystro, right?
Nope. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Move these. Okay, I'm on the GM layer. Okay, right. Move that to the token layer. Very good.
I see it now.
And let me grab a quick
Wait, dot at the end of this arrow?
uh-huh. The rudder you were given was specifically, because rudders are always specific location to location. And the rudder was from Corafali to what comes up as a procedural name, Timmit TMT 77-7. There would be no rudder from Timmit to Stet, but it would be a drill in from an unknown location, and everyone was confident that 607 would be able to make that blind jump.
Narrator.
607,
He was
aka
not.
Griffin Cage,
Yeah.
aka Calvin Rick, aka Mr. Trader.
Yes.
I was gonna say, aka the bastard.
So they're telling. Who was it that was saying to Das to shoot first, and then we're putting this guy in charge of the ship?
Beeper.
That was acid saying
I'm-
shoot first.
I'm not gonna say it was. I'm not gonna say it was entirely like Das's thing of, but like I feel like if you're gonna tell Das to be the one to handle it, you maybe shouldn't have put the guy in charge of flying.
This confuses the timeline a little bit because so he was going to pilot us there, so his betrayal had to either happen instead or just before.
Yeah, why?
I'm not
why
even sure
the?
he did, but we'll find out.
Yeah, what? Why the news article said that he one of the deep undercover agent forgets his, but the magnifying glasses cover up the rest of it. But it says that he was supposed to arrest us for Paradise, but then he was with us for more than a year.
He participated in the worst single act of terror, right?
Yeah.
That is charity, 10,000
Okay.
dead, and then rejoined the crew that he was supposed to arrest to take part in the slaughter at Paradise. Is I think how that's intended to be read.
Ah, right. Okay. Right, so
He wasn't arresting us for Paradise. He joined us. He joined the people he was supposed to arrest
to
do Paradise.
Okay, yeah. So he was meant to arrest us. Instead, he made friends with you, didn't arrest us, headed off solo for a bit, committed the worst single terror act the sector had ever seen, rejoined us, killed Paradise.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what the news is saying.
Yeah.
Paradise is the mining colony on Stat, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say I'm the smartest tool in the shed, but when were you supposed to shoot him?
All right.
So, those are your freebies.
Hmm.
Sorry, Dex, you were sorry, but we interrupted you before when I asked to the star map. You were saying something about Portia Lynn had some suspicions, so she split the crew.
Yeah, that's why she split the crew. Is that she had, she just had one of those. I got a bad feeling about this.
Hmm.
So rather than risking the entire crew, I suppose.
Yeah, so it
So
was
we were the
just what.
expendables.
What was that, Jackal?
We were the expendable ones.
Yeah.
I know it's the exact opposite. It's...
What was Porcelain with us?
Porcelain was with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the question is who all was actually with us? I guess Calvin was obviously.
Calvin, Shiro,
Yeah,
Android,
I think.
and all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that we have a wanted poster for, minus me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so Calvin, Shiro, Android, Portia, and the six of us. Wait,
Portia
hang
Lynn.
on, and the five of us.
Hmm. It's 10.
Hold up. So Shiro is six. Now hang on. Shiro is 808, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means Portia, Calvin, Android, Shiro, and the five of us. That's 9. So there were 9 pods, but Android charging stations are.
Sorry, and Zoe. Princess of Mars.
Right.
There's your 10.
Okay.
Everyone we have a poster for, basically.
Right,
So
got you.
the people in the crime reports, including
yeah.
Elise, that's the people who were on board.
Yeah, I was wondering for a second there why the number didn't quite add up with the crime reports. But that adds up with the cryopods as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm going to throw this in here also because while Knox may not have had another question for John, I think that just because it seems like John, well, just because I think there were less questions there. But the Raza had just finished some repairs at Gorman 1760. I mentioned that. That was after jacking John's old ship. The Galamedes that on all of your crime reports that you got for spike jacking, well, some of your crime reports was John's old ship. That's where they got the cargo bound for Stet. It was John's ship before he got ejected from it by his crew on a life pod onto EGO. And after they had, after he'd been ejected from it, it had been sold to Union. And then it got spike jacked by the Raza, Porcelain, and crew. And one of these 3 crew here comments that, and John didn't even go back to it after that. There was apparently some kind of arrangement made that Raza would get the cargo. John would get back his old ship. But instead, he stayed on the Raza. Libra comments that she is glad that he chose to. They sold the Galamedes for, well, not as much money as you could make from a legitimate sale, but to scrappers for quite a lot of money. Scrappers slash retoolers, people that scrape VIN numbers and stuff.
Yeah. Space Jawas.
Yes.
Alright, we've been watching a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, specifically, sorry, I did write this here. They took its cargo, including weapons bound for set, and sold it at the Three Dogs, which is the. Oh, I know why this keeps showing. Okay, great. Fixed. Just a second. The Three Dogs is a pirate colony similar to the mercenary sworn at Holau, but instead is a kind of a pirate gathering in Zenthra. And they're called the Three Dogs because there's 3 gas giants orbiting Zenthra, which stay fairly near each other and make it really, really easy for the pirates to scatter into the thicker atmosphere of gas giants and become nearly undetectable should Galactic Mandate come knocking. It's like scattering and hiding in the bushes.
Out of character, I almost want to suggest that we head to Zenthra and just arrive with as much fanfare as possible and see how they react. Like, I'm not saying that we should, but it would probably be really funny if we did.
That big dog's home.
Oh, and I skipped over this because my brain skipped over it because my brain skipped over it. The first question: what is the purpose of the crew? What is Porcelain's mission? To bring down the Megacorps.
Okay, yeah, we kind of suspected that one.
Yeah, that's why that one's a freebie.
It's good to get confirmation.
So, you got 6 additional pointed questions.
Okay.
With all the ups and downs of this conversation here, it is starting to wear down. But your crew, even Acid, is sitting in for a little bit more of a long haul to try and help you guys, feel better about where you are, given the circumstances.
Yeah, Percy, if he notices that they're sort of tiring or getting that sort of more questions thing, he will say, I'm sorry about all the questions, but it's just like, this is far more information than we've got between when we woke up to now. You guys are basically our lifeline at this point. Our lifeline and our history rolled into one, so sorry about all the questions. We'll make it up to you somehow.
Notario waves it away. It's been an honor serving under Porcelain and Exo Randall. So, this is the least we can do.
What's next for you?
I would like to continue serving on this ship.
You beat up as she is?
Libra nods, and Acid says, I don't have a choice.
I mean, you do. It's this or cosplay for the rest of your life.
Is that really a
Sorry,
I was
sorry.
just
Sorry.
starting to like you.
Well, I'm lamenting with your terrible, terrible options.
We tried the cosmetics for a while. Trin genetics reject the pre-tech nanos and stimulants and stuff. I go from albino white with freckles, where the hell did freckles even come from, and to back to blue. At least I can be white for a while, a couple weeks at best.
You're saying that you don't like freckles?
I hate freckles.
Mm-hmm. And these on my face. Hate those too.
Hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it you hate the freckles? You just hate his face. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Okay, so let's add find enough cosmetics, no freckles, the acid gets to walk around freely without being blue to the future goals list.
They also make my skin itchy.
Ah,
Cosplay's actually been better.
I'm not sure we're gonna improve on the pretext.
Hey, you never know. But
If
yeah, if they make your skin itchy, that's
if the
awkward.
Trin
Awful
didn't improve on them, humans won't. Or maybe a little bit of nationalism there.
No.
Little bit. Oh, who would have thought?
All right. Mark those as answered there. What else would you like to know?
Okay, so I think out of character, guys, are we in agreement that the I guess first would this be first or second question would be like who did the Vaza have as support? Like who were crew? Do we have any allies outside of crew? What do we use as who was neutral enough that they may as well be an ally? Because by default, most people are enemies. You get the idea. Are we in agreement that that's a next big question?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm on me.
All right. There you go. So, allies that you had before and should still be reliable are the Trin on Trinity Shade. They still need they still need Raza's support for eyes out in the sector. And Acid can shed a little bit of light on this. Because the Trin wants to escape their prison planet and wreak vengeance on all of humanity.
Lovely.
Moving right along, you got a smattering of contacts on Astos of dubious trustworthiness. That's not because they themselves are dubiously trustworthy. It's because they're on Astos, and everything there is of dubious trustworthiness.
Okay. So, sounds like exactly our kind of place.
It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. And corporate
Nice.
ads and neon signs. Yeah, it's cyberpunk hell. As opposed to Thurid, which is cyberpunk heaven. The bro at unxxv, and it is xxv, not 25. Absolutely love Portia Lynn and exempt her from their 2 guns on a ship rule. That rule is that if you're a cruiser class and you've got more than 2 guns, you can't approach.
Oh.
Unless you're porcelain.
Unless you're porcelain.
Do non-functional guns count?
You can make that argument with them, but you might want to have porcelain with you.
Yeah. No, it's.
This comes from Libra. It's whoever made Android would be an ally to anyone associated with porcelain. But nobody knows except for porcelain who made Android. Oh, and Android should know also. Android just.
Sorry, who's it? Have you said who Android is? Just keep saying Android.
Yes, Android is an android named Android.
It's in the crime report. 7.
Oh, that's true. They were listed there.
Yeah. Android had at various points simply told Libra that she would like to introduce her to her creator one day. And it wasn't just like, Joe in a shop on Astos, and it also definitely wasn't Spectre Star Technologies, who makes 75% of all the androids in the sector.
Interesting.
And this was a late addition because I totally forgot that in this cycle, the Nox is still, alive.
Nox is back, baby.
The Nox is
not
back.
Nox the player.
Right.
So yeah, the Nox in orbit around Anti in Kuditihirti is a safe neutral port despite being in Kuditihirti.
Okay.
All right. Question number 2.
I feel like we should probably mark these on the star map.
That's.
Oh, I see someone is doing so. Thank you.
Yeah.
Could we perhaps not do the filling thing on the text? I feel like it makes it harder to read. Unless y'all disagree, is it easier to read for you?
Hold on. And transparent.
I don't know which bits are and which
It's
bits
not
aren't.
really. It's not really any different if I just do white text. One is. Let me see. The one is black with the white outline, but the white outline, because at that size, is the. It's just filling in anyways. I guess I could try a different color than white.
There's a transparent one at the bottom in the bottom row.
I turned it off. Why is it keep coming back?
Because roll's funny.
Yeah.
That's the only answer.
I was gonna say I honestly don't see any difference between any of the text.
Let me change one of them so that and it's gone.
I keep trying, yeah.
There you go. So over on the left side, the potential safe havens. Yeah, that has white on the left and transparent on the right of the color things.
Yep, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
I really am.
If you guys aren't opposed to it, I can go ahead and change them all. I thought you liked them like that for some reason, so I hadn't. I
kind of did originally, but I hadn't looked at it the other way. Okay, yeah, it's just not letting me take away. It has to have an outline for me for some reason.
Huh. How weird. Even you can't click on the checkerboard one beside that blue at the bottom.
Oh, I can click on it, but it just doesn't do anything.
It doesn't care that you've clicked on it.
In fact, it's just not letting me change the outline at all.
Huh.
That's Roll20.
Yeah, it is Roll20.
Yeah.
Like I was even trying to change to another color, and it's not doing anything.
Right, I see. It looks almost like. Right, yeah. So I see what you meant by the glow now. Yeah, no, I'm fine with it either way.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I haven't put a blue check mark on the one because that's Not
Yeah, I
necessarily
feel like that
same
doesn't.
game for us
That
because we don't
doesn't.
have
That doesn't
Orchard.
jack on until we get Orchard. Yeah.
That's rather predicated on the person
Yeah.
who's not here.
Yeah. Where's Astos?
Astos was down towards the bottom.
Yeah, Pana.
Yeah, Or yeah, sorry, it's not even near the bottom. It's towards the middle. Oh, I guess I should add Astos to the text.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trade Shade is the Punjati Virul one, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that how Lamiero is spelled?
One more R.
Close enough.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first heard that, I typed something and then looked at the map. It's like I got that nowhere near correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Second question.
Eternal problem with naming things. It's like if you verbally say the name, nobody knows how to spell it, and if you type the name, nobody knows how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's why you say it and then paste it or then type it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the next question was like I feel like we got the So Portia parted ways with the rest of the Vasa crew. I think this is still worth a question because like we don't know how many other crew there were, and we also don't know like did Portia Lynn leave them scattered about in different places, or did she leave them all in one place and the rest of them have defected, or whatever? And we could also roll into this: how many of us were there before? Like how many were left here?
Yeah.
How many were meant to be on the Vasa?
If it was just a question of like when and how did we actually part ways with this group, I'd say probably not worth question. But if it's like
agree,
what is the total Raza crew, and how did they end up where they are? You know, are there 13? Are there more than that, and there's more people elsewhere? What's the deal there?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's worth it.
Yeah, like are there the whole Vasa crew? Did they all get left with you guys? And if so, why is it only you three left? If not, where did we put the others?
All right.
If there are others.
If there are others, yeah. And also, who are the others?
Any
objection?
Any objection to that question?
No.
I mean, I'm aware that's very multi-barreled as a question, but
it is. But that's fine because the answer is going to be very unsatisfying. So I'll try and give more information in it so it doesn't feel as bad using the question for it. But basically,
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Portia Lynn kept a tight crew, just enough to keep the ship going if Android was disabled. It's a pre-tech ship and handles better with low staff than post-tech. As you guys have probably realized yourselves, the ship does need 10 crew to properly function, but you guys have been able to get to keep moving and keep doing things with just the 6 of you. The extra bit
despite it being heavily damaged, even.
Yes, despite it even being very damaged. The extra bit here is that Android alone could fly this ship with nobody else. And it's
that's interesting.
There's some suspicion from Libra that Android might actually even be able to fly other ships that aren't so easy to crew. ships that require more than 10 crew to fly, all on her own. She is able to interface easily with ships. This also answers one of the questions you had in the list of who else helped maintain the ship before. One protected familiar engineer can't run a ship this size alone. Android.
Yeah. Android. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, that is a surprise. That is a more satisfying answer than you give it credit for, Dix.
Okay, good.
You know, I'm
Andrew, you're thinking
this
what I'm
things,
thinking,
man.
aren't you?
Are you thinking Android was the only one on board for that week?
Yes,
That
I'm
wasn't in
thinking.
stasis?
Yeah, but we were all in stasis. Yeah, I'm thinking that, like when the life support was low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking
If
that
Android could
was the
fly it
caretaker.
alone, if Android
Then
could
she
fly it
was-
alone, and Portia Lynn trusted Android to do that, which it seems that
What-
she would.
Which she absolutely would
Then-
because they did the whole
yeah.
criminal records together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
I want to join in on humming.
Yeah.
Stopping you.
Okay. So are they basically saying the total crew of the Raza prior to like splitting up and dropping people off and memories being wiped was 13 people?
Yes.
Okay.
Two of them were Acid and Libra were the result of was functionally a business arrangement, and Notario just happened to be in the right place at the right time when a deal went bad on Canagiris. She got caught in the crossfire. This is her joint story. She got caught in the crossfire of a bad weapons trade on Canagiris. She had made enough of an impression with her no nonsense attitude that Portia Lynn decided to bring her aboard instead of leaving her to her own devices on Canagiris.
Which I assume is Porcelain's usually ma.
Yeah, Porcelain is while she is protective of her crew, she is also selfish. She didn't hire anyone, really. She didn't really go out and look for people. You all boarded as people of opportunity, even to some extent at least, although there were some additional intent with that one. So, yeah, I guess you can get a lot of information out of that question.
Yeah, so the answer is, where's the rest of the crew? There isn't any.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right here.
Everybody's here.
That in itself was good, though.
Sorry, you're both
an android.
Yeah. Yokin, what did you say?
I'm gonna say everyone's here except for the people that are missing.
Right.
Yeah.
The captain,
Yes.
the android,
Yeah.
Calvin.
Yep.
Oh, hey,
We know where he is.
You do. He's in
We
prison.
know where he is, and we can quite safely assume that he's not going anywhere unless we go and pick him up.
Yeah. Well, unless somebody goes and picks him up, they might decide to take him down to the Nanivar meter. But
Who knows? He could go all campaign without ever being picked up.
That would never happen.
I don't know anything about that.
you sound like you might have done that before.
I wonder.
Suspiciously specific.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so next up is suspected saboteurs and turncoats. We're all okay with... Well, actually,
I can already tell you that they don't. Yeah, aside from all the suspicions already raised and cast on just about everyone, they don't have any fingers to point.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't feel like, given that we know now that the crew is this small,
Yeah.
if
Well,
anyone does suspect anyone, they're not going to point their finger right in front of them.
So did
Yeah,
we
isn't it?
have the? It's kind of on that. Did we have the QEDs like that? We knew we had QEDs on board, or if that's what Acid thinks swiped our memories, right? Is that
That's
a known thing that was already on?
no, that's a new thing to Notario and Libra.
Okay. Well, I guess that would be tied to the trader. Like, how would we have those used on us?
Yeah, that's not a tell me my past question. I think I've actually answered all the questions, almost all the questions in your list.
Well, where the
Yeah.
it's about the tech of the
Yeah.
Raza, where it came from,
I think it's
and
Okay.
what it was capable of.
Yeah, the pre-tech
Tech on the
coordinates.
Raza and
Well, you did-
potentially the one about things being planned out, but you've taken out the boxes for parodies thing.
You
That's
did.
what it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think y'all did talk about like the for like allies, like where where they refuel based out of and everything, but there wasn't really like a home base for the Raza mentioned, right?
Correct.
So that still remains unanswered.
It would have been included in the allies question if there was an actual home base for the Raza.
Yeah.
Home
Yeah,
base for the
I'm
Raza is the Raza, I suspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You're wanting to ask about the tech then?
Yeah, where it came from, what else it can do.
Yeah.
Not just the
Is
ship.
there anything else we didn't find?
Yeah, like not just the ship itself, but the Thundergun, the Omni Tool thing, anything else that, like, I know the cubes, yeah. Not just
right.
I know they haven't had much of a chance to look about the place since it had like whatever damage inflicted to it. But was there anything else that they've? In fact, we could probably like guide them on a sort of tour of the ship and.
Nope, not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, they've.
But was that anything else that should be here that isn't that we don't know should be here?
That's true. I wouldn't notice.
So to
basically
start,
the pre-tech in general.
Yeah, just to start the answer for that, the ship and the pre-tech toolkit came with Porcelain and Android. Neither of them ever said where they got it, except Porcelain would say that she took it from some bad people, referring to the ship. The Thunder Gun came with Percy. That was a Percy thing.
Oh.
That is his gun. And so the ship and its capabilities, you guys as players have already seen what the weapons are capable of on the ship sheet.
Yes, in theory.
In theory, once they're repaired. The only additional thing there really is that the Raza was equipped with something they call an infradrive, which was a spike drive attachment that allowed the ship to instantly transit from any point in space, didn't even have to be at the horizon, to any point in space. So instantly go from being repaired at Gorman 1760 all the way over to Kurituhirti and attack Charity Station, or not Charity Station, Jessup Station.
So they didn't even have to wait.
It did have some technical issues in its how frequently it could be used, as well as some limitations in where it could go. It could only go somewhere it had already been within the last year. But that was one of the things, in addition to the Roz's weapons, that made it so fearsome, and also difficult to pin down. Porcelain most frequently reserved that for getting out of a jam than getting into one.
I was going to say that's the kind of thing that you use for hit and run techniques. Sneak in, bounce out.
Yep.
Yep.
The last piece of what tech questions is that the device, whatever it was that Das basically bought her way onto the ship by claiming that she had produced a locked crypto box that she said was from Mercure Core.
Oh, okay.
Was that one of the things we found?
It might be.
What exactly is a crypto box?
Well, crypto box is similar to the puzzle that Das has been fiddling with.
Yeah. I guess like
It's
a hand will come out of the pocket, followed by a puzzle box, and she'll just sort of look down at it and look up at whoever said about the
Yeah,
crypto
that's it.
box. Huh. What does it do?
Still
they never
haven't
get it
gotten it
open?
open.
No.
Acid over there. Thought you were smart.
This thing's complicated, okay? It's not as easy as it looks.
It don't even look easy.
Sorry, Dex, did you say it was from Mercure Corp or for Mercure Corp?
From.
From. Okay.
Das had said that she stole it from Mercure Core.
Hmm.
Any last questions? You haven't even used up your full 6. I guess I'm too kind to you guys. I should have been meaner.
Yeah, the thing about things feeling planned is somewhere in there, I think.
Okay.
Like things there are things there that feel like they were placed for us to find, and like somebody's planned that we're going to wake up and and they have any idea what could be going on with that.
Yeah,
The memory.
like how we woke up and we found that we had, well, obviously, I don't know if it was planned that the ship was damaged, but it seemed almost planned that things like the crime reports, for example, happened to be on Paradise at a time, but those crime reports included us. Like they included the crime of destroying Paradise. How would that have been on Paradise? It feels like it was placed there. Stuff like that. You've heard us talking about this in the out of character. You've heard us talking about stuff like this in the Discord and in station. So you got the idea of what sort of things we were talking about. So basically, we'll just sort of condense that, relay it, and go. Like, any comments, any thoughts, any reasons someone would do that to us?
There isn't a solid answer to that, except that Porcelain made a lot of enemies, and it was increasingly likely that one of those enemies, especially when you're dealing with Spectre Star Technologies and Mercure Core, who are sneaky in their own way, Union, who just will put a fleet on you. The longer she operated, the more likely it became that somebody was going to catch her in a web. And so it's it wouldn't surprise any one of the three if what has happened here was either a successful or failed attempt at taking out the Raza.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
let's see.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I have some questions about the memory tech thing, but I don't want to jump to that if we're still doing history
Yeah,
questions.
we could we could ask about the memory tech thing, but that's kind of ongoing. We could ask about enemies, but it seems like the obvious answer there is like
Everyone.
the megacorp. Yeah, the mega union, the megacorps, and just about everyone else.
I suspect
Um,
if we did ask that, Dex would probably just give us it as a freebie as the corpse.
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
it is.
yeah, because we always do that.
Yeah.
And
Um,
include Galactic Mandate in that, because even though
Ah,
they
right.
don't
Yes.
portray
Corpse, yeah.
as a corporation, they are absolutely a megacorp.
mhm,
They're just private space police acting like
mhm.
uh, an extension of the Terran Mandate, which they do have ties back to the old Terran Mandate, but they're so far removed from that right now that they are just privatized space police.
Mhm. Okay. Mm, we
To
have
break the
what?
moment just real quick, aren't you all glad that nobody has to write summaries of these sessions?
I've been writing
I
things
feel like
down.
this
I've
is
got
direct
tons.
call out.
It's fair. I always dread the information dense sessions in Jackal and Theo's games because I'm like, oh, please don't be me. I shouldn't say dread. I dread the after responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I for one, I'm thrilled at the amount of information that we're getting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dix, I reckon we have two topics of questioning left that we can ask about by my count. Is that right?
Need you have 2 more questions? Yep.
Yeah. Um. Hmm.
Oh, that's right. Hang on, real quick, because there was a thing that slipped my mind that came to mind, and it slipped it real quick. That report on the Paradise mining colony was followed by a report from ABNN remarking that the previous report was a fake and was not released by ABNN. ABNN's report that the previous report was fake subsequently kind of fell from the airwaves fairly quickly.
Right.
Hmm.
Huh.
So we got the fake version, and obviously because we didn't have Black Box, we didn't get the news of. By the way, that was a fake version.
Right. It's it's on your ship now. It's archived, but when your black box filled up, it got so many news reports about
Hmm.
all the things you don't care about. It's somewhere in there. It just didn't,
Yeah. Yeah.
trip any
Yeah.
flags.
It's like we've got
Yeah.
hundreds of things and that's in there, but we wouldn't notice because we didn't read them all.
Right.
Yeah, going through all the news, going through like five. It's basically the equivalent of getting 500 unread emails at the same time. Nobody's got time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Hmm. Okay, so it's not on the list as such, but it's related to stuff that's on the list, and also I feel like it's like the stuff that was on the list has basically been answered mostly.
It has.
So how do you guys feel about asking about the what we did if the pre-tape got damaged before, or do these guys have any ideas on how we could expedite the repairs, or anyone that might be able to help get the Vasa fixed up?
Doesn't sound like anybody's disagreeing.
I was going to say, and deafening silence was the answer.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, a yes or a no, please. How do we feel about that as a question?
Yeah. At this point, we've got 2 questions left, right? And that is pretty much the only topic left that we haven't actually got an answer from that we thought of. So.
Yeah, and even then, that's only because it was kind of related to the future, which is why we didn't ask it sooner.
So why don't I go ahead and answer that, and then I will let you guys have the last question as like a I'll let you ask that at a later date and treat it retroactively. Does that sound okay?
Okay.
So
Sure.
You get a hold of question.
Yeah. Or we could just see if we can think of anything through the week.
Oh, that works too. So yeah, their pre-tech repairs were repairs of the specific pre-tech parts when needed were usually at Mona. Any normal post-tech stuff on a ship you could repair at any of the yellow locations on the map, anywhere with maintenance facilities. But
were they okay? Like, even though we were the Vasa, were they okay with us, like, just walking up and going, "Hey, we need this fixed," like any other ship?
Those specific places, the places marked as allied or neutral contacts, it wasn't exactly okay. Yeah, we love you, Raza, but it was like, okay, well, you have money.
Like, yeah, we'll take your money.
Exactly.
Oh,
Repair of pre-tech parts, as I said, normally done at Mona. But Gorman 1760 would also let Douglas use the facilities unsupervised, where he and Acid could usually figure things out. So you had 2 places you could go for fixing your pre-tech when it needed it. And with that, I have one more piece of news to drop.
Just before you drop that, I'd like to remark, man, I am really glad we didn't burn our bridges we've had you on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyways, carry on.
Alright. There's that sting here real quick.
Yep.
Oh. Ominous.
See if it is still pending. Good. Sort of. It did not keep. Alright. I had pre-posted the news item, but it didn't keep the attachment. So let me add that real quick. Well, not pre-posted. Prepared. I guess you'd just call that prepared.
Prepared, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Prepared in advance of pairing it right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
This news is actually just coming in right now.
Bittersweet victory for the tireless staff of Gorman 1760. The merchants passing through Gun, Colin Wayne. And most surprisingly, the Camiego cowboy, as he insisted being called, struck a deal with the owners of Gorman 1760, purchasing the high-traffic station for an undisclosed amount. Today, a communication from the Exchange of Light verified the transfer of credits and confirmed Colin Wayne as the registered owner. It's been my life stream to end the slavery of people. Wayne, excuse me, the Camiego cowboy declared in a brief statement. I grew up a slave, owned by the most despicable man, and I promise I will end the movement of human cargo through this part of space. Perry decried the statement as a hollow gesture, calling it a publicity stunt, citing that there's no evidence of slave trade through the Buckle Belt, that if Wayne truly wanted to fight human trafficking, he would, quote, take his miserable excuse for a fleet right back to Camiego where he belongs. Don't quote me on that, end quote. Wayne warns that short delays will continue as his crew becomes acquainted with the daily operations of a fuel and maintenance station, but that the Gorman 1760 staff will stay on hand to help for a while. He also says every ship that docks, even just to refuel, should allow time in their schedule for a routine boarding and search for human cargo. Nothing else is none of nobody's business, he said. Those were his actual words. As independent space, Gunn does not have a standing unified policing agreement. Without a single complaint brought by any of Gorman's 1760's staff, Galactic Mandate has no jurisdiction, and Captain Perry has resumed his patrol. Reporting from Gunn for Artemis Black Network News, this is Sunil.
So, speaking of one of your port of calls, it has just perhaps gotten more complicated.
Mm.
And I will say that was a surprise and a half to me when I rolled the dice to see what would happen next.
Yeah. This is not the one that was. No, this was the one that was calling themselves the Raza.
Yeah, this was the new Raza.
This is the new Raza. And we're what, like 2 jumps away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, maybe the Raza goes and says hi to the new Raza and complains that they're stealing our name. Or maybe we just sneak through and let them figure it out later. Like, wait, that was the Raza that went through.
So, with that new information, and you still have a meeting with Dima, if you'd like to follow through with that, what are you guys' next plans?
God, so many parts. There's so many repairs still.
That is the question, isn't it? But yeah, I think the main thing is that, like, given that our reputation was basically built on terror and intimidation, we do need to have the bite to back up our bark, which means that we need to get at least some of the weapons back online if possible, which will, as mentioned, so much money, so many parts.
Yeah.
So we are going to need to figure out some way of acquiring both of those in significant bulk, ideally as quickly as possible.
Yeah. There, to help you along a little bit, that's certainly something that you can inquire about in any population center. Andois is also, or Mona is also a good source for information. Rajuan is surprisingly well informed about the sector at large, despite Andois's very, very distant and separated, place in the sector. You're at Henry Station. You are at Henry Station, which is a hub for information, and Union's security are currently off, distracted with the whole CTA thing. Astos in the gun system, or not gun system, the Pana system, is also a great place for information. Basically, there's a bunch of areas around you where you could ask about derelicts that could be salvaged, ruins that could be scavenged, and other places to get spare parts, or to get jobs with that pay, so that you could just buy spare parts where you can find them.
I suppose that would be more entertaining. So I don't know. I'm always a big fan of scavenging.
Yeah. I'd say we.
I don't mind some hard work.
Whatever we come across.
We can do both. Not to say we can't do both, but I do think our priorities need to be fixing up that, like, you know, the emergency get out of jail free jump thing.
Yeah, Infodrive, is that the that's kind of just missing altogether, ain't it?
That is missing altogether. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, no amount of spare parts is going to replace that.
Yeah, that is something of a problem. Yes.
You'll also need pre-tech components, which is less of a scavenging and salvaging operation and more like ruins hunting. Even if you might be ruins hunting somewhere where you can also scavenge and salvage, it's still something that you have to hunt down. You have to find something that has spare parts free to salvage in the first place. Not spare parts, components.
And it hasn't already been cleaned out, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, in the interest of setting this up for next session, I do want to ask you, are you going to go back onto Henry Station? Let me make that very pointed question. Are you going to go back onto Henry Station for anything, whether it be to inquire about salvage or ruins opportunities, or to sit down with Dima and have a date with him, a professional date, and
yeah, sure.
Jackal?
Yeah, I was gonna say something a little bit earlier, but yeah, Elise wants to still meet up with Dima to get any information that might be relevant.
Okay.
Although, yeah, no, she would like to go onto the back onto the station to meet with Dima.
Okay. Then I am going to bring us to a close in the session with one last quick scene. At some point, and we can hold any scenes or interactions between the end of this meeting and when you do this for next session, if you will. But at some point after this very revelatory meeting.
Revelatory, I think.
Yeah, I think so. You guys gear back up, at least as much as you can, given the restraints with Henry Station, and you proceed back onto the station. You're making your way through, and you are going to meet Dima. Is it just Sarah, or is it or not Sarah? Sorry, is it just Elise, or is everyone going to go with?
I feel like Douglas will start, asking around for any leads on salvage opportunities.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go with Douglas, I think.
Okay.
Like, I put a point in to connect because I figured, hey, I'm good at interacting these sort of like slightly skeevy criminal types.
All right. Kawana would like to go with Elise if Elise will allow
her. Elise would have invited. Well, maybe not necessarily verbally invited everyone, but said, "I'm gonna do this thing." And if anyone wanted to tag along, Elise would not have said no.
Okay.
So it's I guess, open to come, not necessarily open invitation.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Kawana asked to join, the answer was yes. Same with anyone else.
All right. So
Dads might head that way then.
we'll
yeah.
figure out the exact logistics of who's going with next session.
I will say that does extend to the other crew members, Libra and probably
Fine.
Acid would the offer is I guess extended to Acid, but I don't think Acid wants to go back on to the station.
Acid doesn't want to go back on the station. Acid is happy to be cooped up in the ship.
Yeah,
The ship is bigger than the hotel room.
yeah. But yeah, Libra, Notario, Acid are included with that welcome, unwelcome blanket, I suppose.
All right. And do you remember where it was that Dima was gonna meet with Elise?
I just have a bar.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said there was some sort of like general meeting cafeteria area that we could. You were very specific, I don't think.
Yeah. And so you're having
Like a food court sort of thing.
a good conversation, and things are going well. Dima has excused himself to the bathroom at some point and been gone for quite some time. When Sarah goes to check up on him, Elise goes to check up on him, she finds him lying in a pool of blood and sees the flash of a knife before her eyes. And then, of course, Sarah reels back. She's not yet passed through customs. You have not gone to the bar, but you've foreseen violence and a blade. Please spend a point of effort.
I will spend a point of effort.
And we'll close the session there. Unless you have any, unless you want to cap it with anything else.
Wow.
Whoever
Now,
was
what-
going with Sarah probably is just seeing her like almost stumble and fall to the floor. It does look like she got quite nauseous and quite kind of like almost viscerally sick from the vision.
Are you okay?
Nope. No, but I know what I have to do. Fuck.
What's up?
Dima is about to die.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and call it there.